Interesting. Mm. Mm. What is that, people? Mm. Mm. Okay. La Patrouille. Nice name. Hmm. How do some of you come up with the your names on here? Mm. I find it rather interesting. Anyway, thank you. Oh, let me just tweak this. So, um, thank you though. But I always say before you follow, sorry, before you follow anyone, make sure you are in alignment with the person. Otherwise, what happens is in a couple of weeks or days later, you won't follow the person, which to me I think is waste of your time and energy. So make sure you are in alignment with the person first, and you can do this by checking the person's profile and all that, and you know whether you are in alignment with the person. If not, don't bother, because if in the spare of the moment you click follow for one or two reasons, eventually you yourself won't follow, and that will be a waste of your time and energy. So just make sure before you follow anyone, you are aligned with the person's energy, and all that. So yeah. However, I appreciate the follow, but I will appreciate it more if those I'm in tune with are the ones who follow. Quality over quantity, always. So yeah. Habib, there's nothing behind me. Okay. Oh really? You do economic info? Okay. I always assume no one is watching, so uh, that's my mindset. I always assume no one is watching, so I just put the value I can put out there, because I know eventually the right eyes will see it. But as of now, or as at now, I think no one is watching, which I mean gives me the opportunity to experiment. So, but I might be wrong. you know. Because I think if someone was watching, I would know. But I mean, yes, I do look at the metrics sometimes, but again, my assumption is no one is watching. So the good thing is, yeah, I get the room to experiment. The bad thing, however, is sometimes it becomes a bit, down spiriting, because you expect the right eyes or a bunch of eyes to be on whatever you're doing. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants his or her work to be appreciated. Anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. But here's the case. I understand the delay because the info I put out there is not entertainment wise aligned. It is not entertainment based. And so it will take some time for people to catch on, with it. If it were to be entertainment, I'm very sure pretty much nothing against entertainment, nothing. Because we all like entertainment one way or the other. But just that um this is the thing about anything economic in economics, investment, leadership and finance. Although it's the one single thing that controls the world, people don't really care about it until it is too late. That is what I've realized. People, something like money, people really, really deep down, really, really don't care about money like they say or they think they do until it is too late before they start thinking about it. If today I should come, if I should get 10 people and give them an exact blueprint to follow, verbatim, follow the exact thing to do, and let's say in the next 10 years, this framework or this whatever is going to make you a billionaire, still people won't do it. They won't believe it. They will think it is a scam, it is a rug pull or something. Yes, that is how we are all being conditioned, and it only takes a few to break the mold. So even if it is right in their faces, people won't do it. And that is a good thing. It means there's more room for enjoyment for people who do follow, who do the hard work, or should I say the smart work. So that's the world we live in. That's the world. There's nothing you can really do about that. So um, the best you can do is to keep putting in value wherever you can. As far as I'm concerned, um, um, this is purpose as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, if you're watching, thank you. But trust me, a time will come. There'll be thousands, possibly millions of people on here. Um, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be next year, it might be next 10. I don't know, but I know that eventually it will happen. It's just a matter of time. As a matter of fact, it has already happened. Just that it has to be reversed, engineered into the present. So it has already happened. Uh, just waiting for, just hoping. As of course, as long as you don't give up the call, of course. You know, the thing is, in my case, I cannot give up because there's nothing else to do. I cannot give up. And I always say this. Whatever I talk about here is either I have done it or I am doing it. So it's not like something. At least if you take the 10 things I'll talk about, 9 times out of 10 is either I have done it or I am doing it. I don't really talk about things that I'm going to do because I believe that those are personal things. Unless, of course, the things I want to do are aligned with the things I'm doing now, you know. But the point is, I really cannot give up because whatever I'm talking about, I am doing it or I have done it. And so basically, I'm talking to the younger version of myself, you know, providing information to the younger version of myself who would have been more powerful than my current self. And so I really cannot give up per se. And it's not, at this point, it's not too much about consistency. It's a way of life. It's just like breathing air. So eventually, eventually, And I won't be shocked if eventually I do end up, I won't be shocked if I should end up in one of the forums on the at Davos. I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked if I should be on the boards of think tanks. I won't be shocked. Nah. Yes, there are certain things. I won't be shocked if someday I should be given a TED talk. I won't be shocked. So um, all these things, uh, they are all emotion. So yeah, yeah. Keep doing whatever we have to do. You're Optimus Prime. Then I am Megatron. Uh, and that brings me to this. Do you know that the villains in movies are always right? The villains in movies are always right. They are they're actually the good guys. These things they are all programming. The villains in movies are actually the good guys, and the good guys, how yeah, their ideology. You see, the antagonist and the protagonist. They are the same people. The villain, the hero, they are the same people. Just that due to programming, we see one to be good or one to be bad. I really cannot explain how. It is inexplicable. It's something that if you know, you know. You really cannot explain it. But um, if not all the times, the villains in movies are actually the right ones. But I think that is a discussion for another day, I guess. What is your favorite movie? I do not have one. I am not a movie person. I'm not. But if I do, the science fictions are cool. Yeah, of course, yeah, of course. I mean, um, but I know that the antagonist is the villain is usually right, for the sake of movies. So of course we have to make sure Interstellar is good. I do like what's his name, Matthew. I do like Matthew a lot. As a matter of fact, Interstellar is the only movie from Matthew that I have actually paid attention to. Uh, but funny enough, I didn't finish watching the movie for some reason. I didn't finish watching it because I think right midway, kind of understood it, so I really didn't. I mean, I don't know what happened, but I didn't finish watching the movie. I guess. Mm. Interstellar is good. Inception good. Um, yeah, good movies. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. I think someone said hi, but I didn't. Hi to the person. I don't think the person is still here. But anyway, I'm just remembering. Someone said hi. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Thank you, Steve, for liking. Thank you so much. Yeah. Um, I know the likes are good for the algorithm. I know. Carlton College. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate these likes. I really do appreciate them. I really do. You know, it's kind of funny how the strangers rather that you meet are the ones who assist in whatever form they can. It's rather funny. That is rather the strangers that that's life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. However, I seem not to be able to say a lot because there isn't a lot going on. I am not being asked questions. People are not coming in to interrogate and all that. So just to keep the level of awkwardness low, I seem not to be saying too much. But I always try whenever I'm being asked a question. If I can, I answer it. If I cannot, I tell you I do not know or I cannot answer it. You know, it really isn't something to vacillate. I know about. If too much isn't going on, there's no need to do too much. However, if a question is being put forward, why not? But on the other side, I do have a visual quota that I always have to execute or satisfy, day in, day out, because I do know the importance of always showing up, even when nothing is going on. So I do my best, even if it's for a couple of minutes, show up. And I mean, yeah, and you never know when you meet the right person. So, yeah. Plus, as I speak, I'm also live on my YouTube as well. Um, for those of you who are on here, I can see two people here, which of course I think in the next in the next minute, it will be zero, which is okay. You can always have access to my stuff that I've put. I've put a lot of information, a lot of value on my page. You can always. Right now, we are sitting around 869 videos. With only 230 subscribers. So I take it whenever I put something out, it's only 200. I use the word only loosely. I appreciate that number actually because I know someday an M will be attached to 230 million people. It is not strange. It is possible. So yeah, I mean, I do I do put in stuff there daily. I make sure I put in valuable stuff out there daily because I am on a mission. And yeah, and although some of it is personal, the greater chunk of it is it's a general thing. So why not? Um, by the way, my name is Richard, and I know on YouTube is Kojo Abra. For some reason, I'm finding I'm still vacillating. Whether to change it. No, no. But if you're well into business, you understand why it's important to use different names on different platforms, serving different purposes. So on TikTok here, I think is Richard, but on YouTube is Kojo. You know, um, it's the same person, by the way. But yeah, for some reason, I have to. Maybe in future, it will be changed. But for now, no. We keep it. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, my name is Richard, and I lead investment firms on a tech startup aligned with national priorities and mandate. That is national security, energy independence, and technological superiority. Simply put, I build capital systems. Um, I I have a head for finance, leadership, investment, those kinds of leader. I mean, what people say is thought leadership, and all that. Yeah. Um, I like private equity, private credit, hedge funds. As a matter of fact, the stuff I lead is what it is. So I talk passionately about those things, and of course, anyone showing up. Where am I from? All I can say is I'm from Africa. That's all I can say. And that's how polite it can be. That's the extent of politeness. I cannot give the exact country because I think it's irrelevant. It's inconsequential. It doesn't change anything. So yeah, yeah. But for the sake of being polite, and I would say I'm from Africa. I mean, obviously. So what was I saying before? Yeah. So I keep saying anyone who shows up with a face for, I mean, investment, business, leadership, and all that, you have to do your due diligence on the person. And I, for one, I welcome it. I want you to do your due diligence on me. I want you to um, um, know that yes, the I am actually on the mission that I say I am on, because there are a lot of bad seeds out there, honestly speaking. And quite honestly speaking, these people are are always making the work of a Herculean task for the ones who actually want to do the work. You know, it make it so backbreaking. I mean, I don't understand. I don't get why. I don't get what. Anyway, people have their reasons. Please, now the tools for research are at our fingertips. There's no excuse not to do your due diligence on people when they do show up. Um, can type in the person's name. I mean, there is YouTube as a search engine, the LinkedIn, X, Instagram, social media basically, and even GPTs. I mean, talk about Chat GPT, talk about Microsoft Copilot. You can always do your research on a person. And in my case, if you should type my name there, believe in me, a lot will pop up. Um, because I've been able to create and curate the digital footprint that that I am required to have knowingly and unknowingly. So doing your due diligence on me, which I do welcome, I gladly welcome, shouldn't be had. So yeah, I would say showing up on social media. I know everything I'm doing on social media is in its nascent, infantile stages. It's like it's the foundation. So a whole lot of people, inherently won't see the vision behind. But trust me, there's a whole lot going on behind. There's a whole lot of plans, on paper and all that. Which of course I can't talk about because yeah, some might happen, some will happen, some are happening, you know, and some will never happen. So there's no need talking about it. You just have to do it. So, but I'm cognizant of certain things. If you should take 10 things, I'm cognizant of about more than eight, more than seven things that will happen because of the daily habits I do put in, the daily, efforts I put in. As I was saying earlier on, I won't be shocked if at the end of the day I do end up giving a TED talk. I do happen to be on the board of think tanks. There are quite a number of them. Um, um, I won't be shocked, for all these things to happen. I wouldn't be shocked. However, because I do know the importance of narrative as infrastructure, it is always imperative to 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 polish your narrative before anything gets rocketed into the sky. Because trust me, believe you me, with the sort of trajectory I see coming, whether I like it or not, um, um, going public won't be something that I can stop personally because of again the trajectory that I am following. You know, you know, there's a bad side to it and there is a good side to it. So it is the ball is in my court to try and control the things I can control. And what I can control, some of the things I can control is narrative. I am not sitting down before things happen and someone say, "Oh, where did this guy come from?" No, 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 no. it is imperative for me to polish that narrative, that whole um, public appearance that is needed to move things. Because hey, stories move things faster than anything. Stories, perceptions, how people perceive you and all that. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but day in day out, I try to show myself for questioning because a time will come, there'll be a whole lot of questions. So yeah, it's something I've gotten used to, but yeah, it's part of the gig. It's part of it. So yeah, so whenever you do come across, and I know this will not be the last time you're going to see this very young face. No, this is not. Um, um, the social media platforms you see me on are the media extensions of what is up here. You know, some part of it, fragmented part of it. That uh, that I can show. There's a whole lot I cannot show, because hey, you at the end of the day, no matter how public you are, you have to know how to be private with certain things. But yeah, um, I am not here. I am not on social media because it's fun. As a matter of fact, I don't like it. I really don't like it. But again, the gig requires it. Um, I am not here to be an influencer. No, I don't even know what that means. Um, I'm here to create my own narrative, possibly create my own niche. Again, there's no new niche, but however you do it is what makes it new. I'm here, yeah, to create my own narrative, create my own niche, and also um, appear in the eyes of the people that I am targeting. You know, my usual typical target audience are sovereign investors, hedge funds, private equity firms, institutional investors, endowments, those kinds of things. But I've also come to realize that just as it is important to have a target, it is also important to sometimes have a carve out for other groups of people. And so that is why the content I do dish out will not float the boat of a whole lot of people, which is understandable. Like I said, it is not entertainment based, so things will not move at the on the spectrum of that entertainment based, flow. But yeah, there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot that I would like to say, but again, the rhythm will judge everything. The rhythm of how things move will judge everything. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, I always suggest and I implore you to have a look at whatever I have been putting out there. Um, um, for some reason, also the algorithm is not assisting with pushing things, which is okay because again, for example, the YouTube algorithm it is designed for dopamine stuff, entertainment based stuff, and so if you are not in that niche, in that tactical niche kind of thing, what happens is the algorithm doesn't know where to put you. And so it takes some time before the algorithm finally decides, okay, this is where to put this guy. So yeah, that's why it's imperative to always be doing stuff, because um, if the algorithm doesn't understand you, to take a while for it to understand you. Could be a year, could be two, could be more. You feel me? But as far as or as long as you do not, give up. Uh, so what? Real eyes realize. So yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter of time. However, albeit that remains the so-called fact, it has already happened in the parallel universe. So I'm just reverse engineering it into the physical. So it's just a matter of time, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Mm. Oh, I see people coming in and leaving as well. which is cool. Um, we I wanted to drop this in. So my one of my frameworks or models called the investor gravity model. After after thinking about it, um, I've decided to make it free, and so anyone who has access to it, I think on YouTube I can show the link here, but on TikTok I cannot because I cannot put a link here. But I think if you should type the investor gravity model, it should pop up, I guess. Um, so yeah, made it free. I'm just trying to pull out the link. I've made it free. I mean, because why not? Um, just for people to have access to that is if they want have access to such information. So I'm just gonna put a link on here. Gosh, this gig is difficult. This work is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. But hey, there's no need. I'm not complaining. There's no need for that. Just that it can be frustrating sometimes, but you get used to it. I see why people cannot be, you see, if you do not love what you do, even if the results aren't glaringly showing, that is when giving up becomes easy. So yeah, so I put a link here. By the way, yeah, I think those on YouTube can have access. Yeah, it's free. It's free. It's an audio book. It's called the Investor Gravity Model. That is how to pull capital toward you without chasing. Basically, it will help anyone who is building stuff. Because when the moment you are building stuff, you always need capital, one way or the other, whatever form of capital that is, whether financial, whatever it is. It will help you become a magnet to attract capital into whatever you are doing. Basically, that's what it does. And yeah, it's free on the Gumroad. I think you can download it. It's an audio, you can download it. Yeah, everything there is free. I also have one model, the EuroCipher model. The EuroCipher framework. These things become a lot to my. Sometimes I misplace the names. The EuroCipher framework, which is specifically for investors in the aerospace and defense industry, to help them predict momentum before even an investment is being made. So I might not be talking to the target markets now, but I'm just putting it out there. For that is on Amazon. I think it's about 100. Is it $200 or 100? I don't remember. Sorry, I usually don't remember the figures of the money because it is what it is. So yeah, the investor gravity model here is free. You can always download it at your free time. Cost nothing. It's free. And what else? I wanted to bring. Yeah. Um, in the description here, I don't think you can see it. I think in the description on this stream, you can see my beacons profile there. Like I said, sorry, it's always good to do your due diligence on people whenever they do show up or whenever you do see them. So I think my beacons profile. I don't know if the link is always included in the description, but I don't know if it's showing. I don't know. I don't know. But my point is, do your due diligence. On me as a person who claims to do whatever he's doing. I mean, I will do my due diligence on the person. So I don't see why you shouldn't do your checks because hey, um, there's a whole lot to do, and hmm, trying to understand the question. Do you believe that quantum computing infrastructure framework? Uh, is that someone else's framework? Because I do not have a. I do not have. Okay, it's either you're talking about someone else's framework or or maybe you're confusing it with my framework. But anyway, continuing with the framework will own, design, execute the vast amount. I don't know about the quantum computing infrastructure framework you're talking about, and I don't know if no, I don't have any. I don't have any video about that on my personal page, and so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any framework. Do I? Because I always come up with a lot of things. No, I don't have any framework called quantum computing infrastructure framework. Nor do I have a video of it on my personal profile, and so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Or maybe I do, and I don't know. No, I don't think. No, I don't. I don't have anything quantum computing infrastructure framework. Unless, of course, you're talking about someone else's, framework. Then, yeah. Okay. Let me just close this. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stick around a couple of minutes, to answer any questions that might come in, and if there is the otherwise, then I'll leave and return later, at a more fitful hour, I guess. But now that you've spoken about it, quantum computing infrastructure framework, perhaps I should write one. Perhaps, because I like the name of it, quantum computing infrastructure. Perhaps I should write one. You know. By the way, there are so many frameworks of mine that I haven't put forth. I haven't make them public because I believe every year should have a specific framework that should come out. You know, and besides, I operate with a certain equation I came up with. That is my equation of inevitability. That is doctrine plus framework or models plus civilization. All times infrastructure will give you inevitability. Doctrine plus frameworks plus civilization, all multiplied by infrastructure, should give you inevitability. And so for doctrine, I have the sovereign. I'm trying to remember because it's sometimes a lot in my head. For the doctrine, I have the sovereign capital doctrine. For framework, I have the investor gravity model. I have the Arrow cipher framework. There are a couple to that, I do not want to mention because there's not out there, so there's no need to mention them. For civilization, wait, let me check. Sometimes I do forget these things. Let me just pull up. Oh, yeah. So for civilization, so for doctrine, I have the sovereign capital doctrine. For framework, I have investor gravity model, the Arrow cipher framework. There is Oh yeah, I also have the $422 million per week model, which is one of my favorites. It's basically a model that you see many of us always sit somewhere and say we want capital, we want money, but sometimes the money do not come to us because when the money shows up in our hands, we want to know what to do with it, and money doesn't like nonsense. You know, money wants to be sure that when it comes into your hands, you know exactly where to let it flow. And so I created this $422 million per week model. Basically, it tells me exactly where to put money when money comes into my hands. And I made it starting with $1 billion, not a million, billion. I mean, $1 billion is actually chicken change in the way the world currency is moving. You know, the banks are able to do more than. Okay, I don't want to say a whole lot here, but I'll keep that to myself. Um, I wrote this with regards to $1 billion. That is if or when, not if, when I get to $1 billion, exactly where I'm going to put each dollar. So that is why I did the $422 million per week model. And so with this model, I don't have to think where money will go when I get it. No, I don't have to think. So when it comes, I know exactly where to put it. Um, yeah, so sometimes you have to write your own formula so that you don't waste time when things show up. I have the. Oh, yeah, okay. Then for civilization, I have the sovereign capital circle. Um, yeah, and I have the Fed, which is FEEHD. FEEHD is basically where the private equity, private credits, and hedge fund um, um, method is. So it's just FEEHD. When I was young growing up, I used to think that I would end up as a prime minister or a president one day. And if that happened, I would I would merge the country's ministries into just five. That is finance, energy, entertainment or education, health, and lastly, defense and space. These five, because when I did my analysis, I realized maybe one of these days I'll make an extensive video on it. When I made my analysis, I realized that, these are you can literally put every ministry under these five ministries. So, yeah. So, as time went on, I realized that, I just might not get into politics. And so, why not do it through business? And so, the FEEHD, the Fed, for like I said, is private equity, private credit, and hedge fund. For finance, we have Baronet, and you can check all these things. They are they are on LinkedIn. Yeah. For finance, we have Baronet, which is a private credit or hedge fund. For the first E, we have the first E is energy. We have Cruvon. If you should type Cruvon right now, it's gonna pop up. As a matter of fact, let me just put Cruvon just here. Cruvon.com. Oh, no, let me just do it. Well, yeah. If you just type in Cruvon.com, yeah, it's gonna show up here. It's basically a global energy sovereignty investment fund. The second E is under five. That is sports, entertainment, and media. H is health, basically biotech, which is Utronox, Future, and Equinox. You know, and D is defense and space, which is Lago. You can check all these things on my LinkedIn page, by the way. And so, yeah, I mean, that is the civilization we are creating. And like I said, the formula, my inevitable equation is doctrine plus framework plus civilization, all times infrastructure. So I do have my doctrines, I have my frameworks, I have my civilization. There are a lot of interesting projects actually that most of you will see in the next decade to come. Trust me. But of course, I cannot mention all here. And infrastructure, for some reason, I'll just keep a lid on the infrastructure now, because yeah, it's it's been it's almost about 5 years, working behind the scenes. So there's a whole lot going on. So there's a lot. I do all these things because I have come to realize that um, one of my purpose is to make people rich. That's my purpose. And you cannot make people rich if you do not have substance, you do not have value, you do not have at least a plan to proliferate, these kinds of wealth ideas in your head, you know, because if let's say today I should come across, let's say Elon Musk or Bill Gates, and we are in a talk. These people, by the way, are just normal human beings. No matter how the media tries to frame them up as God, they are not. Even if they are aliens or whatever, they are still biological species or specimens or whatever it is, just like you are. And so um, I make sure that who is this? I make sure that I make sure that just a minute. Hi, what's up? No, sorry. It was out of curiosity. I'm a curious cat. Yeah. But anyway, you look fire though. Bye. Stay safe. Wait, I'm trying to get off. Just give me a minute. Okay. You always meet people there. So yeah. So yeah. Um. So I always make sure that I do have things that if I should meet Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or 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 Mike. I mean, sorry, Bill Gates. Today or whatever. I always project myself that I have something to talk about. Sort of a vehicle that investments can be made into. Because there's one thing I've realized: you can actually tell rich people what to do with their money, but you cannot tell poor people what to do with their money. Yes, you can actually tell rich people what to do with their money because they are looking for more avenues to move their money. Mind you, money here is not fiscal. I'm talking about capital. Whatever it is. You can actually tell rich people how or where to put their money, but you cannot tell the other guys where to put their money. So that's how it is. So yeah, you always have to be ready. And okay, yeah, I'm saying that these elite research institutions have quantum computers that is doing the work you are doing and offering it in a SaaS models at your fingertip. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. So, let me use this to reiterate. Whatever I say, whatever I do, is nothing new. There is nothing new under the sun. As a biological species, we are not smart enough to come up with something new. There is absolutely nothing new under the sun. In fact, there's nothing new in the universe. Um, everything is already available. It's just that we have to be selective upon the things we take and how we, yeah. The only thing new is how I will take an information and narrativize it, put my touch on it, my fingerprint or my blueprint on it. That is what makes the information new. The information is already there. In fact, we live whatever I'm talking about, like they already do it. It's already there, yes, and all that. But as human beings, or at least most of us being human beings, it is imperative that we always take things and make it our own to suit the journey that we are on, our purpose, and all that. So, yes, what you're saying is very, very true. I mean, they have these things on subscription based models and all that. Again, my the purpose, the rationale of me being on here, some people are on social media for maybe uh, some people are here as if for fame, there's nothing wrong with that. The reason I'm here is kind of different. Um, it's of a specific, purpose, which of course words cannot really describe. It's not because the reason is too special. No, there's nothing special about it, but it's just that there's a specific reason why I am on here, and so um, So yeah, I try to do things my way. So yes, whatever I'm doing, truth is, it has already been done. It has already been done, and all that. But I don't think anybody is doing it my way. Yeah. So I think that is so. So with that mentality, I keep doing it my way. Until the right eyes, catches or catch on to it. So yeah, what you're saying is very very true. It's very very true. There's no rebuttal to that. That's it's very very true. It's very very true. You know, everything is already done. But the funny thing is, oh okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why I shouldn't be honest. And what everything I'm about to do, think of, it has already been done. There's nothing new under the sun. But I know very well that the way I'm doing it, even if there's someone doing it exactly the same, the person isn't doing it exactly how it should be done, the way I should do it. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. Basically, that is it. Basically, that is it. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to go around with. There's a lot to execute. So I do see these are just the foundational parts of things. I'm hoping the more of the right eyes, see what I'm doing, exactly what I'm doing, because they have to. It's imperative they do. So yeah. So uh, I mean, looking at the plan that at least my 100-year plan. Of course, in 100 years I'll not be around, obviously, but looking at the 100-year plan, at least starting with the 100-year plan that I do have, there are a whole lot of exciting. I'm looking at it right now. There are a whole lot of exciting things that I have to do. Exciting things. Um, and I haven't even executed even 0.1% of it. So okay, I can't answer that. But well, right, I don't know. No, no. This is not a cartel, so I can't answer that. So yeah, a lot of things. Uh, so yeah. But that's an interesting question, actually. That's an interesting question. But I don't know why you came. I don't know why you had to ask that question over on here. How do you answer a guy who wants to sell you? No, come on. This is not the place to ask that question. And even if I knew, I won't answer it. Obviously for security purposes. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, looking at my own 100-year plan, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I won't be around in 100 years to come, but definitely with this, with this, my name is going to be around. With this, that is if I follow it judiciously, religiously. So thank you so much. Thank you, Prodigy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, 100-year plan. I'm looking at my 100-year plan here. And I haven't even started executing 0.1% of it. So my point is, there's a whole lot of a whole lot of things to do, a whole lot of people to team up with, a whole lot of people to to do things with and all that. So I'm just hoping the right more of the right eyes, see exactly what I'm doing, and yeah. So and the the good problem with these things is when you know exactly when you have something like 100-year plan, how you want things to go, you you begin to you not you begin you always speak things into existence. Like it's like you're reverse engineering stuff. You know, you are always confident about the future. You know, because you see things that people haven't seen yet. Some will see it as well. Especially those who are building stuff or those who have built stuff, they will see it. But usually people won't see the things you are seeing. So my point is you just have to keep going, keep going. I mean, there's a whole lot of interesting, projects on here that I mean, personally, I have to be executing. A whole lot that's I definitely I cannot do it all. So yeah, of course. But yeah, the ones that I will do is I mean, there are some ones I know I will do personally, but definitely I cannot do everything. You know, talk about manifesto. Okay, manifestos are is I'm partly doing manifestos, podcast series. I think podcast series, and I think it's pretty much what I'm doing. It's just that I haven't got invited to some of the big podcast platforms yet. Framework licensing. This I think I've done like I've done like 0.1% of it, I guess, with the frameworks I've put on so far. There's venture networks, there's think tanks, tokenized community, speaking circuit, media partnerships. Found a whole lot of things. I think they are very interesting. And I was saying something that I mean, this is my 100-year plan. In everything I do, I make sure that it has a 100-year plan. You know, and of course, I keep saying 100 years. Personally, I will not be here in 100 years time, and so that is why it's important to make your name unshakable. And that brings me to why, you know, I am sort of I am pro immortality. I always say this. Let me. You can help with investors. Okay, that's good to know. What kind of investors? Because uh, you know, these investors can be tricky to deal with sometimes. Because when it comes to when he in the course of building frameworks, I've also come up with something that as a strategic founder or builder, what you do is you build stuff that the economy will plug into, or you build stuff that the economy needs. Then after you invite capital here is investors. Then after you invite capital to accelerate that inevitability. So all what I'm trying to say is, in my mind, first it is my duty to build stuff that the economy needs. You know, in short, I won't start a bakery business. I'd rather go start a space or defense business because I know the economy cares about the defense and space business more than it cares about the bakery business. Nothing against bakery businesses, no, but you get my point. Because if you know the government or the economy needs a place to spend money, that's the thing. You know, people need a reason to spend money. You get it, and they'll rather put it in places where the economy obeys. The government needs. Things like national security and national resilience and all that. So it's good you brought up that. But I would like to know what kind of investors. So I was saying something. Oh, I've lost track. Yeah, I was saying that I am pro. That is why I am pro. What do you call it? Immortality. You know. Um. Um. Yeah. I always say this about In fact, talking about immortality, I can't wait to have Brian Johnson. I always say this, and I know one day it's going to happen. I can't wait to have Brian Johnson on a personal talk and all that because he seems to be also pro immortality. Brian Johnson, if many of you have been following with his work and all that, yeah. Um, when it comes to immortality, people think it is living forever. So, and I think one of these days, if or when I'm being invited to maybe a podcast platform, I'll explain further. So, to the masses who do not have access to cutting edge information, they think that immortality is living. Okay, I want to be careful my words. Okay, let me let me rephrase it. I think the masses think that I'm trying to be careful with my words so that I don't mince it. People are a bit giddy whenever they hear about immortality. Okay, so there are two definitions of immortality. One is actually living forever, and two is living in your top most peak form for as long as possible. Immortality has two definitions. One is actually living forever, the ones that everybody knows, and the other is living in your topmost peak form for as long as possible. And to acquire the former, you need some kind of information, some specific information, you know, that only a few have access to. As a matter of fact, I know some people are living forever. Some people are actually or will live forever. I know just because of the information they have access to. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I do take immortality seriously because I think it is not playing God per se, because you really can't play God and you can't really cheat nature, and it isn't cheating nature. I think it's working with nature. Although everything that lives must die at some point, but we are moving to an age where some of us will end up living in Mars. Some of us will end up. I'm trying not to say too much, so that I'm not tagged as crazy or something. But whatever I'm saying, like I said, is nothing new. It is already happening, or it has started happening. We have situations where people will start buying land, in space. Space is only 500 kilometers above us. So people will acquire real estate in space. People have to come up with their own way of money. With transactions during their stay in space and all that. And so these things are not far fetched; they are actually happening. So I am not crazy. I am, and some of you on here, you know more than what I'm saying. Sorry. So yeah. So it gives me the energy to talk more about it. There's a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot to talk about. Example, this very project that for now the resources are not available to handle even half of a quarter of it. I think is very interesting. I'm looking at the blueprint right now. I think it's something that I came up, I think last week or so. Very interesting, you know. And again, it's nothing new because what I'm seeing here, you know, personally, I'm already doing it. But it's just that sometimes you need a 2.0 version of whatever you are doing. So, in short, it is my job to make the people who believe in me or the people who support me more powerful, whatever that means. Because obviously, it doesn't make sense to be doing things for people who do not want to be better. than their current current selves. So yeah, it is my job to always think of ways to make sure that whoever believes or pours into me supports me in one way or the other. And I am watching. I'm always watching who supports and who doesn't. That I do not forget. Personally, I don't forget a whole lot of things. So I say that strongly. So it is my job to always using this thing in my cranium, this thing in my head, to be coming up with things, so that when I do meet the people who can help me, it is not now I'm going to pontificate or vacillate or theorize that, oh, I'm going to do this. No, 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 no. A plan, at least a plan should be there, before you meet these people, so that when you meet them, you're talking to them, you know what to say. The problem, however, is because I do this a lot of the times. Sometimes it becomes a bit confusing. So when I do meet someone, based on what the person is interested in, I have to know the exact thing to talk about. Because you meet someone, maybe an investor per se, and the person is interested in investing in energy. Maybe the person is interested in leverage buyouts, maybe venture capital, maybe growth equity. Some are only interested in hedge funds, and the hedge funds, as you all know, we have different types. Algo coins, hedge funds, CTAs, macros, commodity arbitrage, all that. You get it. So sometimes, because I come up with a whole lot of things, in my downtime, sometimes meeting these people, I have to first listen to them and know where their interest lies. Because you cannot go and be pitching let's say, an energy investment fund to someone who is interested in defense and space. It doesn't work. So sometimes that's whenever I hear investors, I make sure that I know exactly what their beat is. Because I made these mistakes countless times. Some people are only interested in defense, and even in certain stage, and even with the venture capital, you know, some are only these things. Most of you know this better than I do, but I'm speaking from experience. Some like early stage, some like Series A, Series B, C, later stage, and all that. So it's a whole lot of work, you know. Even if you are creative, it's still a whole lot of work. It is a curse actually, because sometimes you just have to listen to these investors first and listen to whatever they are interested in before you can open your mouth to talk. So in a downtime, it is imperative to always be putting things together. So when you do meet them, the moment you talk to them, you know what to say. You keep spilling, because money doesn't have time to waste. So yeah, here I'm looking at one of the wonderful projects that I came up with at the last week. Yeah, quite frankly, the resources aren't there yet to even handle. Because wait, okay, so it's basically, how much is the project looking for? I use the word even though I created it. I make sure I separate the project into a different entity. If you know, you know why. So the project requires, sorry, okay, okay. So one of the metrics here is in 5 years the project should have deployed $10 billion in aligned capital. It's actually cheap money, like as in chicken change. You know, I say that because in the way monies are moving to and fro from countries to countries, if you go and say $10 billion, they will laugh at you because we have some these sovereign wealth funds. Example like the ones in the United UAE regions. Talk about the most common one I know is Mubadala, very very popular sovereign wealth fund. Imagine you go to them and you say, "Oh, let's say you are looking for $10 billion." I'm very sure they'll laugh at you because that isn't even their minimum. I don't. I'm not. I'm not. I don't even think that is their minimum check size. So my point is, yeah, this particular project, it's saying that. I mean, when I did it, it's the figures were tallying to in 5 years it should have deployed $10 billion plus in aligned capital only, actually. So, um, hmm, yep. Let's see what happens, and that is just one of them, and yeah, basically. Oh, okay, man. There's a whole lot to do. There's a whole lot to do. Um, there's a whole lot to do. Interesting things to do. No, interesting. I really can't wait for the people who support me to show up, in their numbers because I always say this. I'm very sure that I'll end up making the people who support me very dangerous. I say this, very, very dangerous because um, this is fun, to sit down and put things together, create stuff, do things I think is fun. Do things that, money will flow through. I think is fun. It's fun. Though that's the way I see it though, you know. So yeah. Oh, there's one for a biotech lab. There's one for finance entity. There's one for interesting. I'm just going through the things I've put down because sometimes I forget. I forget. Not that I forget like I forget the specifics because yeah. Sometimes yeah. And some unfortunately will not come to light. Some of them will I'll never be able to bring them up because as time goes, personally I do evolve. I develop into something more advanced. So as time goes on, I realize that okay, the old plan, wasn't kicking. So I just kill it. So yeah. So for now, like I said, I am one of my ethos or one of my frameworks is that I do work with my equation of inevitability. That is doctrine plus framework plus civilization, all multiplied by infrastructure. That is doctrine plus framework plus civilization, all multiplied by infrastructure, which definitely will give me inevitability. And so, yeah, so I move according to that formula that I came up with. You know, I try always to do things that even if I'm not thinking, because I've created the frameworks, I just follow it, and with this, I don't waste time. You know, that's how I do things. So I create the frameworks so that I make, like I said earlier on, my $422 million per week model, which is basically a model that tells me exactly where money should go when money shows up. Many of us say, oh, we want money for this, this, this. But when it comes, we want to know where to put the money. We won't. And money doesn't like nonsense. Money doesn't like confusion. Before money comes to you, make sure that it tests you. It can be a year, two, three, four, five. But it tests you to see, okay, this guy, if I go into his hands, can he spread me? Can he move me? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the right places, but money just wants to move. That's why it's called currency. Currency must move. So yeah, this 422 million. I think if in future I'll share with people, but for now it's something that I use. 422 million dollars per week. I did it. I've said it before, but I'm repeating it. I did it with regards to starting with a low budget of only $1 billion. That is when I get $1 billion. This I'm going to put this here, this here, this here, this here. These vehicles here, here, here. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can share. Okay, so I have it here, and okay, so there is a percentage going to. I mean, for some reason, I can't say the exact percentages, but I can say that the places where I know it'll go. Uh, okay, so there's a deployment capital zone. A percentage will go into credit and liquidity. A percentage will go into sovereign alignment capital. Into a percentage into acquisitions and buyouts. A percentage will go into research and development, R&D plus intelligence. Oh, and a whole lot. Okay, I'm now seeing the beauty of this. You know, when I did it, I didn't really see the beauty, but now I'm repeating. I'm now seeing the beauty of it. No, I like to say good things about my stuff because if I don't, who will? You know. So yeah. Um, so I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and I think I mean, I'm still looking at the stuff. I'm still looking at trying to see exactly what I put in there because uh, so interesting. Syndication distributions, civic. Hmm, uh, uh, yeah. Oh, there's a question. So, what is your perspective on the constant downturn of the U.S. stock market and tech infrastructure and crypto market? Hmm, that's a very good question. First off, I try not, whenever these things come up, I try not to say too much about them because I've come to realize people are a bit giddy whenever they hear these things. Yeah, they don't like it when you talk too much about it. But behind the scenes, there's a lot, I can talk about. But um, hmm, I'm trying to find the simplest way so that I don't say too much. Mm, mm, hmm, hmm. Well, with a constant downturn of the US stock market, first of all, it has to happen. Um, of course, that is why it's constant. It has to happen because if it doesn't happen, a whole lot of things will go array. A whole lot of things will not work. So it has to happen. And I'm trying to just see things simply. I don't want anyone jumping in and saying things that you shouldn't be saying. And with the crypto market, you see, for the crypto especially, again, you see, someday I went, I think I went to a gathering. Was it I'm speaking from experience. I went to a gathering and I was so pro crypto. I think this was last 5 years, and there were a bunch of IT guys. And basically I was saying good things about crypto, and I got verbally attacked. I mean, not in a bad way that I couldn't handle. So basically, people do not still believe the crypto market because it is in its nascent early stage. You know, unlike the, let's say, the dollar that is being backed by certain things, because we don't have any plausible backing for crypto markets. People are still giddy about it. And so that's what I'm talking about it. Wherever I'm talking about it, from that day, I've been very careful. So um, for those of us who believe in the crypto market, again, there must also be a there must always be a downturn in the crypto market actually, because there must be, there must be, and all these things are by design. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. And the crypto market and the stock market, they all work in tandem. They are in conjunction of each other, with each other. And I'm trying to be careful again because I don't want any problems. Um, I just also can't say, oh, invest, just go ahead outright and just invest in them because they are all financial markets. No, I can't say that too. Um, hmm. All I can say is, first, the constant downturn. Um, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Here, I have to be careful. I think it's a good thing because with that, it gives opportunity for us to realize a whole lot of things and to break into so many opportunities that, of course, the masses cannot take advantage of. So I think, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I think it's a good thing. And the I'm trying to take everything, bit by bit. For the tech infrastructure, hmm, for I don't know exactly what you. No, I'm not Somali. No, I'm not. For the tech infrastructure, I don't know exactly what your question here is because um I don't know exactly what I don't know exactly what your question about tech infrastructure here in here is. But all I can say is for listen, okay. I'm trying to be very careful here. Um all the investments that will actually make sense, all of them are going into infrastructure. That's what I can say. All of them. Whenever Nvidia or any other company, so-called software AI company, I'm just bringing the AI company AI into it just to make sense out of it. Whenever AI or whatever these things, or invest in AI, blah blah blah. No, these are companies. Their real investments are in infrastructure. Talk about the data centers, the the real hardware supporting these kinds of cloud systems and all that. You get it. So all I can say from what I know, tech infrastructure, or should I say infrastructure, is where the real investment is happening. Anything apart from that is just an add-on. That's what I can say. Again, this is a public space, so I have to be careful. I mean, anything apart from infrastructure is just an add-on. Infrastructure is where the real investment is going. I mean, we on the stock market, we invest in we invest in maybe ETFs and blah 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 and all that. We invest in this and this and this and this and this. But the companies that we are investing in, the stocks that we are investing in, the stocks of the companies we are investing in, these companies are rather investing in infrastructure because they know that that is where the real power is. You get it? So all I can say is the stock market, crypto market, commodity market. Um, I mean, they are all good investment to go with, but infrastructure is the best. Infrastructure is the best because nothing will beat you investing in data centers. Infrastructure is the best, you know. But hey, these things are all financial decisions that one simply cannot tell you to look into. So it's always up to you and all that. But from what I know, infrastructure is where the real investment is. Anything infrastructure is where uh, the real the real wealth is. Any other thing is just a good add-on. Just to have it. Just to have it. But infrastructure is where the real stuff is. That's why a lot of people like real estate so much. Yeah, but this is not about real estate actually. It's always part of it, but I'm trying to get my words carefully so that I do not mince them. I do not meme them. You know. Um, so yeah, basically the constant downturn is, I think, is a good thing. Not I not I'm not saying it is. I think it's a good thing because when there are downturns, we understand how things are working. We understand how to update our current architecture to make use profit from profit is I use the word profit loosely, to make use of uh the 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 so-called arbitrage that is going on. So yeah. Uh, oh, okay, good, okay. Oh, but yeah, that's yeah, yeah, exactly. So um but yeah, so this I mean, you see, the real skill is knowing what to say publicly and what not to say. So yeah, yeah. So, but for me personally, there was a time I came up with this model too. It's called BSCC. That is businesses, stocks, commodities, and crypto. BSCC. BS. I come up with a whole lot of things that, quite honestly, it makes me not think too much whenever I speak because I've done the thinking and all that before. So BSCC, FEEHD, and ORCA, OCCA, ownership, creation, control, and acquisition. You know, so with a BSCC, businesses, stocks, crypto, and commodities. Basically, it is a framework where a certain kind of power lies. Which of course I cannot elaborate here because it's kind of boring. But it isn't boring to me. So yeah, so look, it's good. It's good to follow the stock markets. Like the downturns, it's good. It's good. I think it's good. It's good. But the real stuff is at infrastructure. Yep. The real stuff is at infrastructure because the company stocks you're buying, these same companies are putting their monies into infrastructure. So yeah, and even with I think the stock market to me, it's kind of funny though, you know, and even with the stock market, due to the certain different classes of shares that are available, you know, I mean, certain the due to the difference in stocks available. um, I'm trying. I'm trying to take my words carefully. You see, whenever anything is done and is made available to the public, that means it has less power as compared to it being private to a certain few group of people. You know. Um, okay, I'll just leave it there. I just wanted to say that even on the stock market, whenever we the public purchase a certain piece of stock, it is not of the same purchasing power as the insiders have. You know, trying to be careful again. Um, there's a lot to talk about. I rather wish we had this conversation in person. That I could have flowed. Effortlessly. But here it's a critical space, so I have to be careful. Um, so so yeah, you take whatever you can take. Take whatever you take. The advantage and also the risk in the crypto market is because it is new. You can always, I mean, relatively new. You can always, whenever something is new, it's the the upside is usually greater than the downside. You know. Um, some people think the asymmetric risk involved makes sense. Especially when an investment vehicle is new. But hey, like I said, these things are all financial, decisions, and it's up to know you to know exactly where. I know exactly where I would put my resources. Should it happen. You know. So yeah. I know exactly where it should go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Lots of interesting projects to come up with. Mm. Oh, speaking of projects, there. Okay, so there's also this one. Okay, I'm not paying attention to it. Uh, this was a month ago when I jotted everything down. So, strategic map for a thematic investment fund. Huh. Okay. So, fund type is a thematic venture and growth equity fund. Interesting. Uh, I wonder why I didn't make it a buyout fund. Okay. Okay. Asset under management target is $1 to $3 billion. Stage four. Do I believe that China's entire playbook model and infrastructure is the best use? Yes. I don't say this out of do I believe. I grew up in China, so I know. Yeah. Um. So I know. That's what I can say. Um. I grew up in China, so I'm very familiar with the processes. So um. Yes, it is the best. You know, I am not pro China. I'm just saying because I've lived there, I grew up there. So from experience, I know that whatever they are doing, their playbook model, I know it's the best. It's the best. Yeah, it's the best. And we have a lot to learn from them. You know. Yeah. Oh, so like I was saying, wait, why did I call this S- SFR? Why did I do that? Maybe I was in some different cloud or something. Okay, so the fund type here. So I am making it a thematic venture. Speaking of thematic, who comes in mind? Katie Wood of ARK Investments. Very interesting woman. So yeah, some people don't like her. You know, they think she's a fraud or something. But I think she's okay. I think you know. I personally haven't made any investment in the fund, so I think hey, I think she is who she says she is. You know, I respect people for that. So man, there's a whole lot of interesting things going on here. So um, so I'm putting the asset under management target to be $1 to $3 billion. Stage focus, Series A to growth stage. Why did I do that? The geography here will be primarily US, Five Eyes, and I hope many of you know of Five Eyes. But anyway, this is not what to talk about. Okay. Anyway, primarily US, Five Eyes, and allied nations. Interesting. The duration. Hmm, okay. Limited partner base. We have sovereign wealth funds, family offices, defense alliance division. Hmm, okay. Well, she's a fraud, eh? Well, well, well. You see, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. You know, I always try to say okay things about people because I do not want to cast aspersions on anyone, even if the public, the masses think, otherwise, or whatever it is. You know, the thing with running an investment fund is it comes with a lot of guts, and most of the times you'll be wrong. Most of the times. But what makes people great fund managers is the honesty to be honest, the balls to be honest. Say, oh, I was wrong. Yeah, yeah. So when you do make a prediction and you are wrong, and for some reason um, you still show that fake chutzpah, that is when people say you are a fraud. But when you decide, well, I mean, when you see that you were wrong, then you own up. You say, yes, I was wrong. Then yes, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But with Katie Wood, I've heard a whole lot of things about her. I even saw a YouTube video about her, saying she's a fraud and all that. Um, but well, it is what it is. Again, I don't want to cast any aspersions on anyone. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm very careful whenever I'm mentioning someone's name because that's the same thing someone might do to me, in the future. So, I mean, I always try to be careful, you know. Huh. So the investment pillars here, energy sovereignty. Well, for energy sovereignty, I already have crew on doing it. But again, there's always good to have a 2.0 version of whatever you are doing. You have to project yourself in the next 100 years or something. So here we have advanced nuclear SMRs, fusion. Interesting. Domestic critical minings and refining. Hmm. Defense and dual use tech again. I already have Lago doing it. Here we have autonomous systems, ISR, Battlefield AI. Um, hmm, Battlefield AI. What came into my mind? Anduril came into my mind. So we have cybersecurity and secure comms, space-based defense infrastructure. Again, infrastructure. Strategic infrastructure. We have water security. By the time will come, water will be more expensive than anything. Mm. The other day, I was thinking to myself, it's so it's so amazing how these people have been able to monetize all the elements of the universe. If you observe, they've been able to monetize water. They've been able to monetize fire. They've been able to monetize earth. But they are yet to monetize air. And if you look at the Chinese side, it's fire, water, metal, and wood as well. Yes, they've been able to monetize all the elements of the universe except air, which of course I know very soon they will. You know, um, just goes to show you how creative mankind can be whenever money is involved. I was just thinking to myself the other day, if actually succeeded in monetizing all the elements of the universe except air. They monetize metal, they monetize water, they monetize wood, they have monetized fire, they have monetized earth, which is land, you know. And basically, land is metal, earth is metal. If you're an earthbender, you can burn metal. Yeah, so so yeah. The only thing yet remaining is air, and I wonder how they're going to do it. Maybe I am the one who's going to do it. Maybe not. I know there are some companies that are bottling fresh air. Uh, fresh air, but I think it's not wide, it's not mass scale yet. So, you know, that's just by the way. Again, there's a whole lot that I have to talk about, but sometimes I do get carried away. Sometimes, because it's interesting to talk about these things. Huh. So what are the differentiators for this very fund? Inspired by Richard Abrams' thesis that capital is not just financial, it is strategic. That's a good one. Every investment is evaluated through a national interest and resilient filter. I'm doing this just in case this life is being sent to an investor somewhere. You know, you never know. So the it's narrative driven. That is, the fund doesn't just invest; it shapes the story of national renewal and strength. Designed to co-invest with government innovation arms such as DIU. Okay, the latter one is the venture capital arm of the CIA. Interesting. Okay, and I can tell you there's more and more plans are coming up. Some some I cannot and I won't execute because it simply won't float my boat. As time goes on. Yeah, I mean, basically, basically. Oh, funny enough, I've been here for a long time today, which is I don't usually do that, but maybe I think maybe I was just carried away by the questions and all that. So, so tomorrow we have this video coming up, which is digital empires. That is the global race for AI and data control. Sounds interesting, and I think we should be up. Yeah, in the next couple of hours. So. Again, if any of you have questions, you can actually you can throw it up. And we take it from there. Yeah, I'm always open to answer questions that in the ones I cannot answer. I'll tell you that I don't know. I can't answer. The ones I can answer, I will answer them. And even with that, when answering, I'll have to be careful with the words I put, forward because hey, who knows? Maybe in the next coming of years, I'll be president or prime minister or something. You know, and so I want to make sure. Of course, you cannot really keep up with all these things because as you grow, your worldview changes. So I might say something today, and in the next maybe in the next 10 years, change because of growth. So yeah. So the ones I can control, yeah, I will do so. But the ones I can't, I just simply cannot. I am just waiting for the opportunity to present itself for me to enact my Fed, what do you call it, framework? I mean, no, civilization plan to the world. That is finance, energy, entertainment, health, and defense. You know, I think sorry, the so-called many ministries that countries have are useless. You can literally put all of them into just five. Like I said, when I was young growing up, I used to think I would end up as a prime minister or a president one day, you know. And when that happens, if that happened, I would basically put the country's ministries into just five: finance, energy, entertainment or education, health, and lastly, defense and space. To me, these are the most important ministries in every country. As a matter of fact, if I was running any corporation, these will be the most important, in fact, the only important ministries to focus on: finance, energy, entertainment, or education, depending on where you are. Because in a place like Africa, in a place like Africa, I'm trying to, be careful. I'll answer your question very soon. I'm trying to be careful with my utterances. It's imperative that I become very careful. But let me rephrase it. So there's the thing with entertainment and education can always meld together, calling it themselves edutainment. That is education plus entertainment. But depending on where you are, whether you're a leader or whatever it is, it takes a kind of mind to know exactly what works in that specific region. Because entertainment is usually the same as education, if you think about it very well. So the thing with that is, um, in the so-called Western world, um, entertainment is needed, but in the outside of the Western world, education is needed. You get it? But a place like let's say Africa, right? You have a situation where the again I'm trying to be careful with my words. You have a situation where, due to the conditions around, the the more abled population is more focused on entertainment. You get it? Yes. So again, like I said, if I was running any multi-billion dollar, trillion dollar corporation, I only focus on five things: finance, um, energy, entertainment or education, health, which is basically biotech, and lastly, defense and space. I am very, very critical when it comes to defense and space. That is national security, national resilience. A country that cannot protect itself is is left ajar to a whole lot of things. And so I say this to say that I'm just waiting for an opportunity where the world gives me the opportunity to enact my Fed civilization framework. That is finance, energy, entertainment or education, health, which is biotech, and lastly, defense. This is when I thought I would be president or prime minister one day. But looking at the trajectory, well, never say never, but looking at the trajectory, I don't think politics is something that tickles my fancy, at least not yet. At least not yet. Because to be a politician, you have to lose a whole lot of power. Again, to be a politician, you have to lose a whole lot of power. Lex Luthor said it best in one of the episodes of the Superman comics. I think he was to be a president, you have to lose power. If you know, you know. I'm not going to elaborate on that. So the only way to do it is through ventures, through solutions, through entrepreneurship, through creativity. And so this is I've already started this. We started this like last 5 years or so. So for finance, we have Baronet, which is private credit or hedge funds. Um, the first E, which is energy. We have Cruvon, which is a global energy investment fund, basically private equity and energy investment. The second E is entertainment or education, which is under five. There's a reason why it's called under five. The H is health or biotech, and that we have Utronox, that is future plus equinox, you know, and the last is defense, which is Lago, which is a defense investor. So so I have already started these things. It's been more than 5 years, going, but there's always a need for external help to amplify this whole kind of ideology. You get it? So, yeah. So, do we need to build more houses or roads? That's a good question, and I'm thinking about it because I have to think about it. Yes and no, in the sense that we have to do, we have to build both. We cannot choose one. From the humanitarian side of things, I mean, people will say we should build more houses because of homelessness and all that. Um, the problem. Okay, um, there are a lot of empty houses, around. Okay, I won't go far into this because again, just trying to be careful with my words. The question was simply, do we need to build more house or roads? And I think we should do. We need more of both. That's what I can say. Yeah, that's what I can say. So yeah. Oh, it's almost 2 hours being on here. That's strange. I usually don't pass the 30 minutes mark for some reason. On an average, I think it has to do with energy. But the chat box here has been rather engaging, so it is not surprising that I've been here for that while. So here, however, not so much. That is on TikTok, not so much. But here on YouTube, yeah, you know. Today I received today I received a letter from I received a letter from my member of parliament. Yeah, as well as yeah, member of parliament, as well as the leader of an opposition party. And I know very soon one will come from the. Okay, interesting. Very soon one will come from the president or the prime minister himself. I like to say good things. And I think manifestation too is a good thing. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I'm channeling good energy. Yes, that's why I'm saying this. So yeah, I think one day we'll be invited to the Parliament House. This is what I'm speaking into existence. I think one of these days we'll be invited. I will be invited to the Parliament House. Why? Probably because not probably, but because there is a need for me to fulfill a leadership role in a new initiative based on finance and investment. Yeah, that is where I'm seeing how this will go. Yes, I am projecting it. Yeah, I will be I will be invited to the Parliament House. Not specifically to answer questions, but to assume the role, the position of leadership in a new initiative for finance and investment. Yes, not because I'm special, but because I can do it. Yes, I think very soon that will happen. I am manifesting that. It's a good thing this stream also will be recorded, put on here. I think when it happens, I'll just look for it and replay that very part. So yeah, watch out. Whoever sees this, watch out. I said it. Yeah, I like to say good things about myself because why not? I am not here to dilly dally, shilly shally, say bad things about me. No, 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 no. I am not doing that. Mind you, there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is thinking you are the only confident one, and confidence is just confidence. I came up with this, I think, last year or so. Arrogance is thinking you are the only confident one, and confidence is just confidence. There's nothing anybody can do about that. So, and in my line of thinking, I don't see why I shouldn't be confident in myself. I don't see why. I don't see why, man. I don't see why. I don't see why. I don't see why. So, yeah, good things are to come, and they are coming. Oh, okay. Oh, no more questions coming in, but we'll just be here for a while. Then, if that is so, we leave. But if not, we stay. Who's this? Mm. Someday, in this chat box, for now it's awkward. Things are awkward and all that. Belt Road initiatives, yeah. China, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I've spoken about this before. Where? Let me try. Let me try. Where did I speak about this? Uh oh yeah, it was a video in one of my series called Decoded. It was a video about Xi Jinping, the president of China. You know, yeah, 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 yeah. Where was that video? Let me look. Yeah, what about it? Uh, funny enough, when I'm talking about things in public, I don't say too much, unless of course I'm doing a video about it. That way, I know exactly what information to calls out to hide, or what information not to bring out there. Because not all, where the Xi Jinping, Xi Jinping. Yeah, there you are. So the video is called Xi Jinping, how he branded order as destiny. Yeah, I think it's in there. Yeah, yeah. Man, I've done so many videos I've even forgotten. I think I also did one about Vladimir Putin. Yeah, I think it's also there. Oh, time will come. I was saying something. Yeah, time will come. This chat box will be full of questions, and that is what I want. That way you get to know through people's questionings. You get to know the diverse ways of how to put things. Yes, some I will not be able to answer. Yes, which is normal, and some I'll be able to answer very, very well. And some, even when I try to answer them, I'll have to be careful with the way I answer them. So for now, it's okay that the questions are a bit breaks. Yep. Um, Brazil, what's the name? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Yeah. Wait, let me be sure about it. No, I'm sure about it. Just want to check for checking sake. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Brazil, Russia, India, China. Oh, you see? So I forgot something. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran. I think these ones, joined later. Yeah. You see, thing is, yeah, the thing is, think about these initiators is that whenever these people launch these initiators, they have to be very solid, because you're basically going against, something that has been around for more than around for thousands of years. And so you have to be very solid. You see, you cannot fight the system when you are outside it. That's the thing. You cannot fight the system when you're outside it. That's why people, whenever I hear someone say out of the matrix, you see, the only way you can actually fight the matrix is if you are out of the matrix. I'm sorry, if you are in the matrix. If you're out of the matrix, you cannot fight the matrix. Mind you, the moment you leave the matrix, you enter into a different matrix. You know, so it's either it's either you beat the system from within that same system, or you get into a different system and fight against that system. But mind you, the moment you leave a system to create a different system to fight the former system, your latter or new system must be strong. No. So, you know, anyway, I don't know why I said that, but in my mind, there's a reason why I said that. But yeah, it is what it is. Um, mm, it's a good thing this recording will be available after this stream is over and all that. It's a good thing. I have been told to let it run for as long as it can run, but um, Maybe I've tried it once. I let it run for like 8 hours or so. That's the furthest I went. So, or I have gone. And well, I didn't see any significant change, but I wonder how these streamers do these things. Hmm. Oh, it's laterally inverted. So, okay, that's why. I was beginning to wonder. Hmm. Oh, eventually the algorithm will have the sense to push out everything I'm doing. It's just a matter of time. You know, like I keep saying, it's still as per the content I'm doing, which is nothing new, but it is not aligned with the entertainment custom made algorithm that YouTube has. So it will take a while for the algorithm to really place me, where I have to be placed. I'm talking in regards to my videos and all that. Yeah, so it will take a while for it to know where to place me before it can push me out, to the right people. Uh, but yeah, we are not doing things that are trendy, so obviously that's what happened. If I was doing something that was trendy, believe you me, probably the subscription count would be in the thousands. Yeah. But for now, we sit at 230 subscribers. Um, I am not so worried about it. The part that worries me is, yeah, of course, anybody who puts in work wants results. You know, the part that I'm worried is that I wish that more people would have seen whatever I'm doing because that's part of the goal. But the part I'm not worried about is but whatever I'm doing, it will be relevant for the next 50 years. Whatever I'm saying, it will be relevant for the next 50 years because nothing here is trendy. Nothing that I put is trendy. It's trends. The only thing is maybe I'll have to be, as you grow, things change. So you have to be always updating your ideology, about things. You get it? So yeah. So a video I made on NATO is not going to change, for the next 50 years. There's nothing here that is trendy. So the good thing is it will still be relevant for the next 50 years to come. That I know. The bad thing, however, is because it's not trendy. The algorithm doesn't allow. I mean, it's not in tune with it yet. I say yet because people are. The thing is, people are tired of these trendy dopamine hit stuff. Now people want perspective. They want information in different ways, wrapped in different ways by different people. You get it? So yeah, it's just a matter of time. Oh, where is your favorite place to live? Straight up New York. Straight up New York. There's a saying: if you want to do great things in finance, you go to New York. If you want to do great things in entertainment, you go to LA. If you want to do great things in tech, you go to San Francisco, Silicon Valley. You know, yeah. Philly. Um, for now, because again, there is Monaco, there's Singapore. Um, yeah. For now, I think New York. I think I'm magnetizing New York. I'm looking somewhere. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm looking somewhere. I'm looking somewhere. I've been aiming at the Woolworth residence. Uh, see if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I was pronouncing it right because why not? It's something that has been on my heart for years. The Woolworth resident. Um, um, I think it's a cool place to be. You know, ultra sophistication. And all that. I think it's a cool place. When you are there, you have to be seeing good things for yourself. You know. I do like the apartment buildings. I do like them a lot. You have to you have to be in a serene place so you can think well. You can vacillate well. So yeah, why not? Or the billionaire's role. Why not? Mm, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's the thing about the algorithm. It's just a matter of time before it pushes out. Whatever I'm doing to people, and I know it's just a matter of time. Because again, whatever I'm doing will still be relevant in the next 50, 60 years to come. Because it is not trendy. You know, it is not trendy. So, and that's a good thing. The bad thing, however, is because it's not trendy, the algorithm doesn't understand it immediately. Even if it does, it doesn't push you to people because for these platforms to survive, they need you to be dopamine addicted so that you keep scrolling, scrolling. You get it? So if I'm producing dopamine stuff, I'm helping the algorithm. Hence, the algorithm will help me. Because if it does so, you will stay on it. And the longer you use this platform, the more they get money. You get it? So, uh, yeah, yeah. There was, yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. Um, I know one day I'll be in these kinds of residences. I know, I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel it coming. It's just a matter of time. I feel it coming. The way I see it, I think, no, no. Um, there's something in my family we call the good problem. That is when you are inconvenienced by too many good things. You know, like you start attracting too many good things that sometimes you have to sit down and decide which one you should choose. You get it? So, maybe you have let's say you have the chance to buy maybe a Ford F-150 Raptor R. Is it Raptor X or Raptor R? I think Raptor R, or a GMC truck, or a Ram. Is it ATX? Yeah, a Ram truck. They are all equally good. But you have to sit down and choose which one do you want to go with. You get it? My point is, a time will come. The good problem will be my problem because I have to be, I have to be thinking. Okay, do I go with this or not? A time will come. I'll have to be rejecting someone's investment because we have been able to attract so many investment allocations from top investors. We are talking in the billion dollar class. So much so that we just simply do not have the space anymore to collect extra allocation from whoever you think you might be. You get me? So a time will come. The good problem will find me. It's inevitable. My only wish is that I do get the patience to choose the right good stuff. Either way, I'll choose something good, but the patience here is to choose the best among the good things. So yeah, I always say good things about myself because why not? I'm not here for the bad stuff. No. Whoa, I've been here for 2 hours, 15 minutes. Wow, that's a whole movie, eh? That's the whole movie. Hmm? Wait a minute. Uh-huh. You're not talking. Woolworth Tower Residences, of course. Two Park Place, New York. Hmm. Plush, resplendent, exotic, ultra, uber sophisticated. That's what we're talking about. No diggity, no shilly shally, no dilly dally. I am attracted to the finer thing, the finest things in life. Because why not? Why not? Why not? Mm, yeah, very cool. Yeah. However, I know that the apartment for Woolworth Tower residents, the apartments, they are not for rent, they are for purchasing. Last time I checked. So yeah, last time I checked, yeah. Which, shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, if you can buy it. So, yeah, so they're all for sale, not for rent. Interesting specs. Nothing out of the ordinary because I've seen some. Yeah, because I've seen some. Um, so this is the thing. Like I am. You know, I think one way I can be useful to the world is if I bask and dwell in luxury, because why not? There's no way I can bring my best if I do not dwell in luxury, you know. So when it comes to, I spend my time to do a whole lot of research and on a whole lot of things. Um, yeah, yeah, they are overpriced, of course, overpriced, price. But if I go purchasing them, I will not go purchasing them personally, you know, if you know what I mean. um, um, I'm always moving with the corporate mentality. Anyway, so yeah, so I um I do not like cars because I understand them, but I like planes and yachts because I don't understand them. Um, when it comes to cars, um, I'm a vintage kind of guy, vintage, car kind of guy. So much so that I have, four specific cars that, you know, when the resources come for me to purchase them, these are the only four cars I'm gonna get. You know, uh, I mean, the 1964 Aston Martin DB5, James Bond. Yeah, they are overhyped as well. James Bond, 1964 Aston Martin DB5. James Bond's Goldfinger, the car using that. Um, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. The 1969 Ford Mustang Mark One, and lastly, the 1969 Ford Mustang Mark One is John Wick's car, and lastly, 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 429. These I say this because I'm speaking their vibrations into the air, and I know that's definitely one day I'll end up with all of these. No, and when it comes to the planes, the private jets, I mean, Gulfstream, the latest one, the 16 panoramic views, they're all good and all that. Again, I like them because I don't understand them. You know, yachts too, I like them because I do not understand them. When it comes to yachts, Dubai. The yacht called Dubai, um, uh, Solaris, which was owned by Ibrahimovic, um, Eclipse as well. Um, um, oh, I used to have all these things, you know. Uh, there's Dubai, the Dubai yacht. There is Nord, yeah, Dubai, Nord, Solaris, Eclipse. Um, oh, I used to have like 20 of head. I don't know what happened. Um, Maybe I've forgotten a bit. Maybe in the future self I already acquired them. That's why I've forgotten their names. Yeah, Dubai Nord Flying Fox. Yeah, Dubai Nord Flying Fox. Solaris Eclipse. There's this nice one too. Um, this one owned by Al Azam. Yeah, Al Azam. Yeah, owned by. Do I have mechanical engineering skills? Uh, a bit. Not from school, but from work. Yeah, used to be a mechanical operator. Yeah, but my real skills from school is petroleum engineering, oil and gas, and chemical and biological engineering. Yeah, yeah. For mechanical, I did acquire them through some small works here and there. Yeah. So yeah, um, I do not like cars because I like them, and I like yachts and planes because I do not like cars because I understand them, and I like yachts and planes because I don't understand them. I think they're fascinating. I like these new cars. They don't really take on my fancy. Yeah, too much going on. You know, the vintages are always good. Although they cannot beat the current technology we have, but there's always class. Attached to these things. So, and there are a lot of finer things that I like. In terms of there's this house, this home. I'll use the word home. Um, Last time I checked, it was going for $55 million. It's Casa Maranena. Yeah, Casa Maranena, inspired by Ferrari, the Ferrari design. Ferrari, yeah, very nice house. I think it's the pricing is sensible. I think it sits around 22,000 square foot or something like that. Let me check. I always check these things. Casa Maranera. No, no, no. Sorry. Is it Marileno or Marilena? Oh, sorry. So it's Casa Marileno. I don't know why I messed it up. Yeah, I do make mistakes. So yeah, Casa Marileno. Yep. It is the home which was inspired by the Ferrari design. Oh, still the asking price is $55 million. Yeah. So it's 20,723 Why did I say 22? Oh, okay. I know why I said 22. Yeah. I know why. It has 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. So pretty nice. Pretty nice. I think it still hasn't been purchased. I don't know why. So under this profession, yeah, okay, okay. So many professions are growing, but um, typically the trade based professions are the ones that typically are the ones that are so called in demand. And so if you can create stuff around them, you pretty much make a gold mine. You know, that's what the experts say. You know, so yeah. Oh yeah, Casa Maranello is going for $55 million. Last time I checked, it was still $55 million. So why isn't it changed? Oh, I see what they did here. Nice. I do like looking to specs because why not? The nice marble, imported marble finish. I think the bar alone is worth $2 million. Only $2 million, I think. Yeah, I think the dining hall sits. Is it 18 people? You know, trust me, all these things are not vanity. No, they are not. As a human being, you must be able to bask in luxury, whatever your definition of luxury is. And to me, this is the least of the least. I mean, it is only $55 million. I mean, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, why not? Casa Maranello. Nice designs. No, I cannot complain there. I still wonder why it hasn't been sold yet. Or it has been, but this is the website hasn't been up. I wonder why. A 12-car gallery garage designed for Ferrari collectors, inspired by the elegance of Ferrari road trips and European landscapes. Hmm. Well, all these things are just add-ons. Resort style 95-foot pool and spa. Borgari hotel inspired spa with an indoor pool. Uh, well, anyway, these are just extras, I guess. No. Anyway, interesting. Oh, thank you so much for being. You've been. I do recognize. Every little thing anybody's doing for me. You've been the one person on here for the one person consistent here for more than 2 hours. I appreciate it. You know, I really appreciate it. I do not take these things for granted at all, at all, at all. And someone else showed up. I don't take these things for granted at all. All it takes is just one video. All it takes is just one video and the right eyes. All it takes is just one video. And I have been trying for what? I have been trying with 869 videos so far. That is the ones that are at least are public, and about 100 more which are not public, which are private. So basically, I have been over 1,000 videos trying, and I'm never gonna stop trying. um, That is okay. There's no problem with that. With that, I'm still intrigued. I'm still out of curiosity. I wanted to know how the algorithm, suggests my video to other people, to strangers. I'm still in a kerfuffle how it happens. You know, I mean, I know. I mean, sometimes it does through recommendations through other videos, but I want to know exactly the mechanism under the hood, how it actually happens. But I guess I'll do my research. Now everything is researchable, no problem there. I think what I meant to say is I'm intrigued. Like I find it intriguing. Not I'm intrigued. I find it intriguing. Being intrigued is different from finding something intriguing. So yes, the $100 trillion climate economy. It's funny. Sometimes I put in a video and sometimes maybe in 2 days just like 5 views. Then the following day, boom, it rises up like 800 to 1,000. So far the only I'm speaking about metrics because I think there's a time to talk about it. So far the only long form video high count I've gotten is I think, which I'm very 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 grateful for, is the collapse of creator economy here. That's 1.3 k views. The other was 877. Oh, don't worry, in future all these things will be in the millions. So this amount of time. Oh, let's see this. Lil, thank you. You've been a real one. You've been here for hours. You've been a real one. Thank you. I do recognize real ones, to be honest. I do observe as well. Okay, just I think I came up with some idea. The next research to do. Let me see. Uh, okay, got it. And that's the next research to do. Um, yeah, sure. Like I said, today I had like I said, I'm repeating this again. I had a letter from my member of parliament, and also the leader of an opposition party here. And very soon, I'm going to get one personally from the president or the prime minister. And through that, I'm going to be invited to the Parliament House to heard or lead. But the reason, the rationale is to lead or head an initiative of finance or for finance and investment for the so-called upcoming generation. I speak this into fruition. It's just a matter of time. Oh, you have? Oh, okay. I am not in Ghana, actually. Yeah, I'm not in Ghana. Yeah. But I can tell you, Ghana is a very peaceful country, one of the most peaceful. I'm sure you already know by now. Packed with a whole lot of resources. Did you know that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire account for more than 60% of the world's cocoa? Yep. Anyway, just by the way. So, Matrix, cool. What are you working on? Well, you know what? I'm working on my daily quota of showing up here to answer questions to anybody who has one. Yeah. So yeah. So no, I'm not in Ghana now. No. Yeah. Oh, I know why you said that. Yeah. My name. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not in Ghana. Yeah. Yes, it is time consuming, but it is part of the gig. You know, by the time will come, I will not be doing it. Someone will be doing it. But for now, I have to be doing it. Yeah. So yeah. Have I developed a curriculum? Uh, I'll say yes, because something like my investor gravity model, it is a curriculum. Yes, it is a curriculum actually. It is a curriculum ready to be used by schools, especially in the economics business department of schools. Yes, it is ready to be used. You know, as a matter of fact, um, my alma mater has the dean of my me being an alumnus of a so-called renowned university. I think I sent an email to my dean, and I mean, I'm waiting for a response. I have gotten a response, by the way, but I'm waiting for a positive response. So yeah, I do have a curriculum. More and more of them are coming. Since how long you? Um, I don't have a specific duration. However, based on the energy of the live session, that determines how long I'll be there for. If questions pop up, fine. If it doesn't, I just vamoose and return some other time. So yeah, trust me, it is time consuming. Yeah, I'm saying this again. I think this is the third time, so that the universe receives it. Today I received a letter from my member of parliament, as well as um as well as the leader of what do you call it, um an opposition party. And I know one day one will come from the president or the prime minister himself, and I will be invited to the parliament house to lead an initiative of finance and investment for the upcoming generation. I speak this into existence. Is it, well, you should get text to speech and watch a show. Well, yeah, you're right. Text. You're right. You're very, very much right. Oh, you know, all these things. All these things will come life later. Uh, I mean, now that I seem to have the time, why not? But as time goes on, I won't have the time. So you're right. You are right. You're right. Yeah. Oh God, I look too young for my age, and that is a good thing. Uh, mm, mm. Oh no, 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 no. I'll do that later. I mean, later in the next 30 minutes. I mean. Mm, mm, mm. Whoop. And just like that, the battery is. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, just like that, the battery is began failing, which is understandable. It's been about almost 3 hours. It's understandable. Mm. Okay, true. For the real ones who are still here, you know, I appreciate it. um, I appreciate it. You know. Okay, true. Okay, I would have to be leaving in the next couple of minutes. It's been a strong 3 hours being here. Oh, so I'm gonna probably catch you guys in a couple of hours. So stay safe. Thank you guys so much for being on here. And as always, for those of you who haven't have access to my YouTube, do so because there's a plethora of resources over there that I'm sure will tickle your fancy. And so, yeah, with that said, I'll say peace and stay safe. I'll catch you guys in the next time. Bye. Exactement. Oh, I thought I put this off.